This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Tampa Bay Rays POSTCAST, your spot for instant Rays reaction after every single game. My name is Jonathan Shields. Make sure you guys go follow me on Twitter at Johnny10Shields. Big win for the Rays, man. It was a game. Now, obviously, when we talk about these games now, we're not talking about them in the sense of Rays making the playoffs. We're talking about them as things. For me personally, it's like, okay, what did the Rays do today that could translate to next year? The Rays did a lot today that can translate to next year. I thought the Rays played really well. This is as well as I've seen the Rays play, specifically offensively, in a while. I really impressed with them. We're going to talk about how the Rays should have won by more. I have some interesting stats I want to share with you guys when we get to that. How Drew Aston battled high on the bullpen. But first, let's talk about Pete Fairbanks, man. Why not?
This is what you'll be talking about.
There are a lot of people that wanted to crucify Pete Fairbanks for the stretch that he had, and I always came to his defense. And I was not even I wasn't even saying Pete Fairbanks should be, this big time closer. But he blew a save. He had a few other games like against Cleveland where he wasn't great, but at the end of the day, he's still a lot better than people tried to make him out to be. And I came up here and said that he added a cutter, and that immediately kind of weaponizes his stuff even more. And it's not going to be a return point. We'll get to that in a second. But with getting the runner to third, nobody out, first and third, nobody out, getting out of that without giving up runs against that Cubs lineup, that's big time stuff right there from Pete Fairbanks. 2 strikeouts on just straight nastiness. You get the lucky, I won't say lucky, you get the ground ball to Junior, get the Dansby in a pickle, immediately get that runner off third. Should never been at third to begin with after a 4-pitch walk and a pass ball, but incredibly impressed with what Pete Fairbanks showed. Happy for him as well. He goes out there and battles, man, and that's his 26th save of the year. That's a pretty good year from Pete. He'll probably get 27, 28 before it's all said and done. But I wanted to start with Pete because I thought what he did was incredibly admirable. Things were not going his way. First and third, you could have hung your head and said, oh, here we go again. And he didn't. And he got out of it and made some really big-time pitches. That cutter, it was impressive today. As when I said it last time before they even started saying it as a cutter, his slider was never 91, 92. And then that thing had a little bit more sideways movement. I was like, that's a cutter. And we came out here, so I'll say Rays POSTCAST had it first. But let's talk about this comeback. Rays are down 3-0 in a flash, it seems like. And I don't know how many times, if you saw Anthony Rizzo on the screen, if we had $1 every single time we saw Anthony Rizzo on the screen, we'd have been pretty rich. But the Rays end up with 14 hits, and we'll tie that into why I think they should have been up more in a second. 14 hits, 5 runs. Rays get down 3-0 early. Then we get Big Bobby Seymour across to score, and then that 6th inning, Brandon Lowe just missed a home run. So let's go over to Baseball Savant, everyone's best friend. So that Brandon Lowe that Brandon Lowe double that he had was a home run in 4 ballparks, and one of them, as you never guessed it, George Steinbrenner Field. So there's one where, okay, I don't like to count those because that could go a lot of different ways, but Brandon Lowe, regardless. Jake Mangum comes up righty. He read that curveball, got the barrel to it, splashed into center field. Rays are tied, and then immediately gives up a home run. But that home run that they gave up the very next inning was a home run in a grand total of 2 ballparks, Wrigley and Dodger Stadium. So the Rays got like reverse short porched right there. It's a tough break for Clevenger because that should not have been a home run. It's kind of a unicorn home run. And then Junior comes up in the 8th and just obliterates one to dead center. The season that Junior is having, I don't think is going to be appreciated by people in the national media. He's hitting over 260. He has 43 home runs, 107 RBIs. He has been unbelievable. But our turning point came in the very next inning with Mr. Nick Fortes.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
We talked about Tristan Gray looking more comfortable at the plate more times with the Rays. So has Nick Fortes. Coming into this game, he was hitting 267 in the month of September. That'll only go up. Hits a double in his pinch hit at bat and just slaps an absolute bong out the left field, no doubter, home run in all 30 parks. It was a hanging slider, and he did not miss. That ball was obliterated by Nick Fortes. Rays should have added on more. They couldn't. Pete ends up hatching it down a little bit. But Nick Fortes, I think for the first time as a Ray, is our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Perspective. So far in September, he now has 6 hits. In August, he had 5 hits the entire month. He is settling in a little bit. And it's tough. You're moving all over the place. New team. You're not playing every day. I get it. Nick Fortes is showing why the Rays were high on him to begin with. And the umpire even tried to cheat Pete in the bottom of the 9th inning. He had to get 4 strikes, as Dwayne Stats said. But Rays were able to get it through. But now, let's go through why I think the Rays should have won by more. Carson Williams hit a flyout in I believe it was the 3rd inning. Is that right? Anyway, Carson Williams hit a flyout and it was a home run in 6 parks, one of them being Steinbrenner Field. There was another one where junior's double in the 4th inning was a home run in 22 parks. The Rays had 3 hits that ended up not being home runs. None of those people came around to score except for Brandon Lowe. That should have been home runs. And when you look at the expected batting average, the Rays were 275. The Cubs were 174. And that's baseball's fun. Take it with a grain of salt. But to the eye test, the Rays played really well, and I thought should have won by more. I mean, 14 hits is impressive. I mean, this was the Rays offense we saw in June. And the reason why the Rays weren't good enough this year and aren't going to make the playoffs is because this version of the Rays offense, let's say the Rays play 162 games, this version of the Rays offense showed up in 70 of them, which just hasn't been good enough for them to win. But everyone in the lineup besides Josh Lowe gets a hit and Carson Williams. But we have Chandler Simpson with 2 hits, Yandy Diaz with 2 hits, Junior with 2 hits. We already talked about Nick Fortes with 2 hits. Just an all-around dominant offensive performance by the Rays today. And they left a lot of meat on the bone. They could have been up more. If it wasn't for a Junior double play in the 9th inning, they would have been up more. It would have made that 9th inning a lot less stressful, to say the least. But we'll talk about Drew Rasmussen and why I'm really high on the bullpen for the rest of this year and in next year right after this. This episode is brought to you by Nutritious. You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually works. There's so many products out there, and it's hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. That's why you should give Nutritious a closer look. Nutritious is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. It's not just hype. This is supplement clinically tested that targets the root causes of thinning and shedding with a proactive approach. And the best part about Nutritious is it's simple to add to your day. 4 pills with a meal, no prescription. It's easy. See thicker and stronger hair with less shedding, just 3 to 6 months with Nutritious. For a limited time, Nutritious is offering Locked On MLB listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutritious.com and enter promo code Locked On MLB. That's Nutritious.com, promo code Locked On MLB. This episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. NFL season's here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. And you guys know I love using FanDuel same-game parlays, player props. Those are just 2 things, and they always have the best profit boost as well. So if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. So if you talk about, if you guys are in the live, make sure you guys leave a like and the comment will begin in the comments momentarily. Drew Rasmussen really battled today. 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned, 3 walks. Very unlike Drew Rasmussen, 5 strikeouts. I mean, how many times he had three walks in a game? He has not had, for example, he had 3 walks the entire month of August. This was only the third time this year he had 3 walks in the game. Ties the season high. Very unlike him. But he still battled, holding them to 3 runs. And I say holding them. One of them came with a 2-out rally in the 4th where Swanson got to a pitch outside of the zone and still was able to drive in those runs. So you kind of live with that pitch a little bit from Ras. But he just continues to battle and continues to be just a stalemate in there for this Rays offense. And, I'm high on this bullpen. Now moving on to the bullpen for next year. When you look at who pitched today, Griffin Jacks, Clevenger, Baker, Fairbanks, Adin Uceta, that is 5 guys that, okay, I don't want to hear any Pete Fairbanks stuff, that you semi-trust in a high-level spot, those 5 guys. And to have those 5 set going into the bullpen next year, that is massive for this Rays team. And when you look around, it's be like, okay, what's Mason Montgomery going to look like next year? That's $1 million question. What's Mason Engler going to be next year? What's, add in bullpen pitcher that you've seen this year? But having those core 5 in there to start, I mean, that's just above and beyond. If I'm a Rays fan, which I am, and all you guys are, you're loving that from your future bullpen next year. And they all were good. I mean, Clevenger gave up the home run, but that's a home run in 2 ballparks. You kind of just shrug that one off. But Brian Baker continues his streak of just being fantastic. He has not allowed a run since August 21st. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, now 10 straight outings without allowing a run for Mr. Brian Baker as he continues to be impressive. This is Brian Baker we thought we were getting in the trade. Griffin Jackson has also been better as of late with another no runs given up this outing for Jax. That is now 5 straight outings that he has not allowed a run as he continues to be solid. The only down part is all these high leverage arms for the Rays tomorrow outside of Uceta will be unavailable tomorrow. So it'll be interesting to see what the Rays can do as we look ahead to the game tomorrow. The Rays are going up against Shota, one of the best pitchers that the Cubs have, but they'll be facing Adrian Hauser. So hopefully Hauser can give the Rays some length. So Shota Imanaga was an all-star last year, had a 2.91 ERA last year, has a 3.2 this year, 9.7. He's been really good, but his last 3 outings, he's given up 3 runs each time. He's been roughed up a little bit since the All-Star break. Now he's had those dominant performances, 7 innings, 1 run, 6 1/3, 1 run. But so far his ERA in the month of September is a 4.5. So if the Rays can hit lefties well like they did at the beginning of the game yesterday, they should be in a good spot. But now let's get to your guys' comments as we go to Jack's Takes. He says, love to fight another day. Gotta love it. You gotta love the Rays, man. That's why you guys still watch the Rays, is because you're just happy with what they've done so far, and you're gonna miss these kinds of games when the season's over, right? I am very happy with how the Rays played today, and I really wanted it more. I was really impressed with how the Rays were able to battle. As we got out of Lagos, he says, I hope the Rays pick up his club option for next season. He's talking about Fairbanks. I do too, and they will. They would have traded him if they weren't they weren't going to. As we go to Lagos says, by the way, I was listening to Locked On Rays Daily podcast, and they were talking about if the Rays can do what they did 14 years ago when Longo hit that iconic walk-off. And yes, do you think that can happen again? No. And Gary always points this out when he's in here. The Rays only had to jump 1 team in that situation. In this, they have to jump like 4 teams. I just don't think this Rays team has it. And that's okay, because there's a lot of very promising pieces on this Rays team going into next year. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, whatever they did last episode or preview prediction, I expect the Rays to be in the playoffs next year. I just expect. There's too much talent coming back for that not to be the expectation next year. But is this year in the cards for that? No. You have 15, 16 games left. You're 7.5. Are the Mariners, or now technically the Astros? I don't even know if they're playing right now. They're tied, but back of the Mariners / Astros, they're not going to blow that kind of lead like Boston did. I don't think so. It's never over till it's over, but I would not be betting money on that. Those are what I was trying to say. As we go, Doug Batista says, let's not talk playoffs. Let's enjoy the process. Junior hitting home run, Chase Chandler stolen bases, and the right kids like Seymour. Yeah, I forgot. I didn't even mention. I said Seymour scored. How about Big Bobby with a triple? Come on. Again, I want to see him play more. He should be playing every single day against a righty, every single day, for sure. As we go to I Love Legos, he says, is Orzi or Kelly going to stay next season? I'd say Kelly over Orzi. Orzi, he might start the season in Durham. He was pretty. He got pretty banged up when he came back up, to say the least. We'll go back to Doug. He says, Jonathan, you're right about the bullpen being promising as of late, and this is without Manny Rodriguez. Exactly. And Manny's going to be out probably at the earliest, the All-Star break next year. He might be back. Tommy John for relievers is always a little weird. And, he had it in, when did he get hurt? Before the All-Star break. He had it in, June, probably, the surgery. June, maybe July. And, yeah, maybe he comes back this time next year would be kind of the timetable for him. But yeah. So, yeah, another just talented arm that the Rays could potentially add to this bullpen. But anyway, Rays win. Always got to celebrate these Rays wins. Their 73rd win of the year. So yeah, and these kind of postcasts, kind of post Rays, where we kind of decided as a group that they're not going to make the playoffs, is what do you, and this is something Douglas talked about, what are you looking for as positives? And what I'm looking for is kind of what Douglas said: Junior's home runs, Chandler getting the stolen bases, and what is being shown right now that can translate into next year. I think the Rays did a lot right today that could translate into next year. So I appreciate everyone for joining. I know it's college football time right now. I'm about to go back out there and watch some more college football. But I appreciate you guys making the Rays Postcast part of your day. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe before you get out of here. And we will see you guys tomorrow afternoon.